Okay, texting complete. Happiness is here. What is that? Oh, this is my gigantic gallon jug. The flavor today is the peach iced tea. So it's just water, and I add the zero sugar type thing I have for my wellness company. Because the packets they give me is enough for half a gallon. So I can't, it won't even fit in this. Like this is, what was it, 40 ounces? This is like 40 ounces. That's not 2 quarts. So I can't make just one of them. I have to make an entire, either half a gallon or a whole gallon. Let's hear more about these different time things.
Yeah, it's sort of like a common experience. A lot of people have experienced waking up in an uninhabited world they've never seen before. And most of them describe seeing the same person.
Is it kind of like you wake up in a RPG world? Like you're reincarnated as a slime? Watch it, by the way.
The Spatial Temporal Man. He's supposed to be an ordinary old man wearing work clothes. The Spatial Temporal Man guides people back to the real world. He tells them, this world is not for you, or something.
I'd like to meet him someday.
To be honest, that one's a little weird. What about the others?
So, this elementary school kid, let's call him C.
Okay.
He goes to school and there's a bunch of things on the floor. Postcards, towels, a coffee cup, rice bowls, a sink.
Yeah, they're trying to
Lots of
rationalize the idea we got from Zero
But
Series.
C realized that those were all things from his own house.
How did they get to the classroom?
No one knows. It's not like anyone did it on purpose or there was a thief or anything.
Maybe something happened that made 2 parallel worlds fuse.
Yeah, maybe.
With the lost friend.
There's this kid, A. He's in elementary school.
Yes, Brick, it is.
Well, A had this close friend named
Very
Suzuki. One day, after school, they're walking home together. A turns around to tell Suzuki a joke, and Suzuki is laughing his butt off. And he's laughing and laughing, and he laughed so hard that his eyes fell out of their sockets.
What?
Well, they were hanging down out of his eye sockets. The nerves were still connected, but... A is of course in shock and doesn't know what to do. Suzuki just takes his eyeballs and jams them back into his eye sockets and keeps walking like nothing happened. So, A asks him about it. Like, hey, are you okay? Your eyes fell out. A is really concerned for his friend, you know? But Suzuki just says, yeah, I'm fine. He doesn't say anything about it. And by now, A is really curious. But he's not getting any answers, so they just part ways and go home. The story only gets weirder from here. The next day, A goes to school, and Suzuki's not there. A is confused and asks his teacher about it. Hey, where's Suzuki today?
Who is that?
And the teacher says, Suzuki? Who's that? There's no Suzuki in this class. A says, what are you talking about? And he goes and asks all of his classmates about Suzuki. They all say the same thing. I don't know him. There's no Suzuki in this class.
So that kid must have jumped into a parallel world without Suzuki.
That's what I think.
Couldn't Suzuki just be an imaginary friend or something?
Yeah.
No, A was really serious about remembering Suzuki.
It is weird.
I mean,
And there's no way you can pop your eyeballs back in like that.
Well, not necessarily. There's such a thing as a dislocated eye.
yeah. I saw this guy on the Guinness World of Records or whatever. He can like pop both of his eyes out of his socket a little bit. Like it goes eyelids all the way back and the eyes come forward. And then they measure that. That's a world record. Doing it yourself, like with no hands or whatever. It's like just the muscles in your eyes. Ugh.
It actually isn't too hard to put your eye back in if it falls out.
Ota is correct. Dislocated eyes are easy to replace in their sockets.
But it's gross.
As long as none of the nerves or blood vessels were damaged, there are usually no lasting negative effects either.
But that doesn't prove this Suzuki exists.
Well, I guess not, but...
It's still, like... They're doing okay. They are doing okay trying to explain the flow chart and how it works, which is fine. And they're gonna do 6 of these. How about the weird one first? Boba Kiki.
Dante, look at this picture.
Okay. A blob and an explosion.
There's a famous experiment regarding this picture. You show this image to people around the world and ask a question. Which one is Booba and which one is Kiki? Believe it or not, 98% of people asked have the same answer.
Kiki's the
The
explosion.
rounder one is Booba and the jagged one is Kiki.
That's what I would say.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
In other words, everyone thinks that Booba is a certain way and Kiki is the other. It applies universally across languages and cultures. It's like something ingrained inside all humans.
Okay. It could be just how you say it. Booba is not as aggressive as Kiki. So I would go with rounded edges for Boba and the other one for Kiki.
Like worshipping the sun and the sea. Or thinking that the mother is soft and the father is jagged. Regardless of your culture or background, you probably think this way. It's what Jung called the collective unconscious. There exists a second psychic system of a collective, universal, and impersonal nature, which is identical in all individuals. That's what Jung said about it. Think of it like bamboo. Bamboo stalks look like individual plants since they're separated. But underground, they're all connected. Human psyches might be like that too, connected at a subconscious level. That's...
The parallel world?
Yeah! You saved me in the dream, right? And dreams are all about our subconscious minds. So if you follow the roots...
You get to another bamboo stalk.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Sure. I do agree we're all connected. If you don't believe me, think about this. This is how I made it think. Do you... it's essentially like... Many of you probably haven't experienced it yet, but I think you will. If it's the connection between a parent and a child, a mother just goes, "Where's my kid? Is he okay? Are they okay?" And like walks into the room and like they hurt themselves. I knew it. Like there's something off. Like that's the strong connection that I know. Or similarly, or they just know something's wrong without even being told. In general, anyway, Mandela effect.
Do you know Nelson Mandela?
The name.
Well, yeah. The former president of South Africa. He helped abolish apartheid.
He died in 2013, but a strange thing happened. When the news broke, people all over the world thought,
how did he release a record after he died?
Didn't Mandela die in prison in 1980? That's the Mandela effect. It's when your memory and history have discrepancies.
Wait, did he? Now I'm confused. Did that actually happen?
There are lots of examples. Like the name of this kid's book with the bears having different spellings. Or people remembering that Kennedy was assassinated in a 4-seat car. But in our world, he was in a 6-seat car.
Huh. I thought it was a 4-seater too.
Or that electric mouse from that video game. You probably remember the tip of its tail being black.
It wasn't?
Nope, it's all yellow. And the design didn't change.
Oh.
Wait.
Lines from movies, company
Electric
logos,
mouse.
historical events, and little things.
What? Which one is the electric mouse? I'm not getting that reference. Electric mouse.
The Mandela effect is everywhere. Why do you think that is?
Because those memories are from parallel worlds?
Oh,
would explain
Pikachu!
it,
Thank you.
Yes.
It said from a computer. I was going computer instead of handheld. You are right. Oh gosh. But yeah, the tip of its tail is black. Come on, it's Pikachu. Pikachu. Pika. I kind of want to hear what this one is.
This world is full of really interesting stuff. But you know the most interesting thing of all?
Yeah, good job, Mystic. We didn't get that.
What?
That humans exist at all.
The universe developed in a very particular way to get here. If things were even slightly different, well, the galaxies and solar system and all of that might not have existed at all.
Yeah.
And that means humans would never be born. And even if everything happened exactly like that, the probability of human life developing is extremely low. And yet, here we are.
I want to ask this question again. Is the screen slightly red to you? Does it seem slightly red? Are the colors fine? Or does this make it brighter? Makes me a little brighter. I always ask that because I have a program on my computer called Flux. Essentially, since I stream late at night, I have it to where it takes a lot of the blue light. Okay, cool. So you didn't see anything change. Yeah, essentially it's like a blue shade. So I have f.lux is the program I use on my computer. So it's dimmed a little bit for me so that my eyes can start telling my brain to develop melatonin, which it doesn't need to. I'm fine. I didn't know if that translated over to you guys or not. It's just on my end. Thank you for making sure I knew that. I'd always wondered.
Imagine a box full of ping pong balls, labeled 1 to 100 million. Would you be able to pick out the one?
Not likely.
But what if there were 100 million of you?
Well, then one of us would definitely pick up the one.
Exactly! The birth of humanity is so improbable that it's basically a miracle. But if there were multiple universes...
Then it wouldn't be strange that at least one of them had humans in it.
That's
She
good
is
for you to have
describing
on,
the
Rick.
anthropic principle. I may have underestimated her intelligence.
Everybody did.
When did you two get so knowledgeable?
Oh, I don't know.
Tessa is always writing about this stuff on the internet. That's why I decided to research it too. That's how I learned all this stuff. Oh, hey,
Food
I know
ready?
about conspiracies and secret societies too. I find that stuff fascinating. If you want, we could talk about those.
Maybe next time. Now where's that omelet rice?
Yeah, for real. It's been a while,
Done.
bro. Oja brought the dish over. He laid out an omelet rice in front of me and Iris. Iris grabbed her spoon with a huge smile on her face.
Bon appetit!
She's picked up the spoonful. Actually, she tried to pick up a spoonful. What?
Tessa, are you okay?
I'm fine. My hand slipped. Let's eat.
Iris and I ate the omelet rice together. I bet she has like a... She said she was going to die really soon. I bet she has a medical condition. That's a guess. That's how she said she was going to die soon. There was no conversation. Just the sound of spoon hitting table, hitting the plate. The dinner echoed with it. Diner. I can read. Before long.
Ah, thanks for the food.
Gochi sotama deshita. Iris was totally re-energized. Her face was back to her usual easy smile.
That was good. Ota, your omelet rice is seriously the best.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Aw, thanks. I owe it to my dad. He taught me well.
I paid for the food and stood to go, because I somehow had money this time.
Let's get going, Iris.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Come back soon.
I wanted to go... Let's go backwards. That's my... I feel like that might be... We finally might see Renju there, so let's go to the storage place first. And then I definitely want to see the shrine. What is thanks for the food in Japanese? Gochi Sosama deshita. You can say gochiso, so thank you for the food. But it's gochiso-sama deshita, meaning past. So you'll hear it either way. Like, thank you for the food you just gave me. Gochiso-sama deshita. Oh, nice sandwich. I'm looking forward to see it. And again, we should have an emote next week or week after, somewhere around that. I'd imagine this next week, if I'm counting weeks properly. Yeah. The way my friends actually remember, they remember arigato. It's arigato, but the same thing. They're like, what's the "you're welcome"? They say, don't touch my mustache. It's do itashimashite. Do itashimashite. Don't touch my mustache. It's funny.
I saw it. I'm sure. Your corpse, Iris. Right here.
But I'm here now. Maybe I'm a ghost.
You don't look like a floating sheet. You have legs.
But maybe they're not legs. Maybe they're my boobs.
Boobs. I tried to picture Iris's boobs swinging down there like that. And then I decided not to. Good man.
Didn't you say that you saved me in your dream? What did you mean by that?
I told you that I'm with an organization called Abyss, right?
Yeah, you told me 2 days ago.
We find clues in the minds of suspects and witnesses. We enter what we call Somnium, a dream world projected by their subconscious. That's what the entire organization is about.
How do you even do that?
Special.
We have a machine that we call the sync machine.
What is that?
It's a sync machine.
That's not an explanation. Tell me how it works.
Well,
I can't.
I can explain, but it will require a bit of background to understand.
Background?
That's forklift B. This is still frozen.
Hey, get out of my house!
What the hell?
I'm a poltergeist inside the circuit board.
What?
You said I was a ghost, right? Maybe I'm haunting the warehouse with spooky astral projections.
And a really
What
bad
are you
voice.
talking about, Iris?
Forklift. I don't see anything special. Okay. I was wondering if there's anything new. Doesn't look like it. There's the drum.
Hi, I'm Jemimon!
You too?
I thought those were things for a second. I guess they're just lights. Do you know about BBB?
I've heard of it. The blood-brain barrier, right? Inside the skull, there's an army of little teeny tiny soldiers that surround the brain. They protect the brain from bad stuff in the blood, right?
That's almost it, yeah.
The blood-brain barrier describes the architecture of the microvessels of the brain. It is a kind of shield that protects the brain.
Is this a real
To
thing?
get through, an object must be no larger than 0.4 nanometers. Objects too large to slip through the barrier cannot physically access the brain.
That's kind of cool. Do you know about nanotechnology?
Nanotech? Yeah! Technology related to really small things. Like really teeny tiny things. And when they make a machine, they're called nanomachines. I heard they use them a lot for medical and tech fields. Some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said. Well, I don't know if it was like beep, beep or rrr. But anyway, nanotechnology costs tons of money.
Any sound
Only a few people can even afford it. My college professor said only the richest of the rich have nanotechnology. But he's pretty liberal, so...
That
Largely accurate.
was one of the first
Nano is a prefix meaning 10 to the negative 9th power.
political thing. That's
a
pretty funny.
nanometer is therefore 0.0000000001 meters. The sync machine uses machines approximately 2.16 nanometers long. Viruses are on average 20 to 970 nanometers, so sync nanomachines are far smaller than that. This allows them to access neural circuitry. During a sync, the nanomachines are used to write in the sinker's data.
I did not mean to have that click there. Do you know what a Wadjet system is?
I guess not.
No, I know what it is. It's the core programming behind AI, right?
That's right. What's wrong?
What?
You're shivering.
She's not a real person.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
She's not real.
To borrow Pewter's explanation,
She's a robot.
with the advent of the Wadjet system, we can extract the data of the human psyche. This data is sent to the brain, which achieves the sync.
Robot. Not a real person. So maybe her body, we're not in a parallel world. We're in a world where one of her bodies was like that, and then her replacement came in.
Okay, you have the basics down. Let me explain how syncing works. Syncers like me equip the sync gear and use it to access the subject's brain. Inside the helmet are nanocables. And on the tip of each of these cables is a special nanomachine. But the machine can't reach the brain through blood alone. Do you know why?
The BBB soldiers say, go away, and push them back?
Well, yeah, kind of. But for the sync to work, we have to get the nanomachines into the brain itself. How do we do that?
Drill a hole in the skull?
No.
In Shovel Forge, you can use a pickaxe and...
No.
No, it has nothing to do with tools. We don't have to open a hole. Skulls already have holes in them. One of those holes is the optic canal, which is a nerve canal located behind the eyes. The nanocables of the sync gear go through your eyes, then go to the back of your eye socket, then through the optic canal to the sea.
The sea?
The sea of brain cells, anyway.
That sounds kind of romantic.
It's only a chunk of protein.
Here's how sync works. Tell me.
Once the nanocables arrive at their destination, they can begin the sync process. They slide into the brain like roots of a tree. And on the tip of each cable, the nanomachine sends and receives data. This is controlled by the Wadjet system. And that's how the syncer and the subject exchange information.
Exchange?
Think of it this way. The human brain has a max capacity of one psyche, one consciousness.
Multiple instances of consciousness inside one brain can cause a total collapse of higher brain functions.
You know how a car only has one steering wheel? If there were two, there would be accidents all over the place.
Well, don't some planes have 2 control sticks?
Okay, maybe it wasn't the best metaphor. What I'm trying to say is that the
was
human
good.
body can only hold one person. If you try to have 2 people inside one brain, it will break.
I see.
That was pretty funny.
Because of this, the syncer's data goes inside the subject's brain. And the only thing inside the subject's mind at the time of the sync are their memories. Like a house with no one inside. We syncers break into the house, look for clues, and leave. All within 6 minutes.
There's a time limit?
Yes, or else the house will collapse on our heads.
The neural circuits would become too deeply entwined with one another. To put it simply, the syncer would be trapped inside the subject's house.
Ready to get trapped in somebody's house?
Thank you for explaining it. I don't completely understand how sync works, but still.
I'd be amazed if you did.
Just don't tell anyone. This is extremely confidential.
It's okay, I won't. Date, tell me this. Who did you sync with yesterday?
Didn't I show you his picture? Congressman So Sejima.
So that's why you know so much about him.
But you've never met him, right?
I haven't, I swear.
Quit summarizing
Date,
on her.
You
Jeez.
saw my corpse here, right?
I did. I'm sure of it.
And in SoStream you saved me from getting killed.
Yeah,
And then somehow I resurrected.
yeah.
Date, that means you're...
Also, that really makes me want to go to the other branch, Because I remember one of the Somniums, we were like killing things. I want to not kill them. Then see if they're not dead.
Achoo!
Date, is the cold too much for Iris?
Yeah, I'm freezing too. Iris, let's get out of here for now.
Roger that!
To the shrine! Yeah, I feel like she knows so as well. Wouldn't surprise me he was the person that came to the... she's supposed to tell us who that was, by the way. She hasn't told us yet. Who was her late night visitor?
You okay?
It's okay. I just, missed a step there.
Only you didn't. I'm sure Hitomi knows plenty. We don't actually know who Tessa's father is. The only person that makes sense to me is like Renju, maybe. I like guardian dog statues. I think they're cool. Looks rather solemn. What's a chozuya? You wash your hands and face here. Oh, okay, okay. Monument. Cool. What's up? What are you looking at?
A flower over there.
Flower?
You can't see it from here, can you? I know it's there because I've been to this shrine before.
That's weird. Curious what the flower Iris is looking at.
An iris.
Oh,
More
Makes sense.
specifically, a winter iris.
cool. Winter Iris.
This is the same flower that was on display at Iris's house.
Okay. You're gonna Winter Iris, are you?
Yeah. How did you know? It's the same kind that's at my house. I told you about what it means, right?
Yep.
Good news and hope.
Good news and hope.
Iris is also a part of the eye, and the Greek goddess of rainbows. She delivered messages from the gods. That's why the flower means good news and hope.
About the shrine.
It's called Ikume Iribiko Isachi no Mikoto, or sometimes Ikume Tenno, or Ikume no Mikoto. There are legends about this place written in the
Okay.
old text. It's a shrine dedicated to the gods. The old legend goes like this. One day, Ikume Iribiko sent one of his followers, Taji Momori, on an urgent quest
Okay.
to find a mysterious magical fruit. A fruit called Tokijiku no Kaku. It's said that eating it will grant you immortality. After many hardships, Taji Momori was able to find the fruit. But by the time he got back, Ikume Iribiko had died.
Oh.
Taji Momori mourned. He handed half of the fruit to the man's wife, and he left the other half on Ikume Iribiko's grave, then died on the spot. It is said that that fruit is still inside the shrine behind us.
Really?
Neat.
The fruit of immortality.
Yes.
Ooh. Let's go be immortal.
Not interested?
No, not really. I'd rather have normality than immortality.
Would you want to be immortal? If I was able to have like one weakness, sure. Because I think eventually I'd want to be able to pass. I think.
Mr. Okura isn't here. I mean, of course he isn't. It's not like we came here right away.
He's already taken off.
Too bad.
It looks like there are no further clues here. It appears we've wasted our time.
It's a cool place, though. Your thoughts?
It's nostalgic. This place is a memorable one for me. 6 years ago, I used to come here with someone.
Someone?
I used to call him Uncle. He was a thoughtful, reliable man. I thought of him as a father. But one day, he just disappeared.
It's 89.
She's talking about.
Hitomi's lover.
Mm-hmm.
When you asked me why I became an idol, I wasn't being entirely truthful. I told you that it was because I wanted to become famous. But more specifically, it was for Uncle. I've been looking for him for 6 years.
Aww.
But I didn't find him anywhere. I didn't know where else to look. So instead of me finding him, I thought that he could find me instead.
You think if you became famous,
That's
he'd contact you?
Yeah.
So that is why she became an idol.
I mean, it's also been my dream since I was little. That's a part of it, too.
So why do you use the name Asa? Shouldn't you use your real name?
Oh no, I don't have to. He was the one who came up with the name Aset.
Oh.
He
Dang.
told me that if I ever became an idol, I should use that name.
Date, we have no time to waste. We should get moving.
Got
Good
it.
plan. Good plan. Okay, nice. Making some progress. I like me some progress. Progress.